It was. This guy, see how it's all swollen?
Yeah.
It's pissing right at the...
Oh, yeah.
See right there.
Ah. It's always something. Jesus. Oh, that looks like coolant. Ah, this is not my week, guys. What do you think? Is it the one in the supercharger? I feel like it has to be at this point. It's just a lot of coolant. I just don't see where it's coming from. All right, well, zooming in down there, I definitely see a little coolant. So it's not good, guys. This is the Achilles heel of this engine, and it's something that I didn't think that I would need to do so soon, but I've just recently started playing with things in the cooling system because they started leaking because it's old now. Again, people forget that these things get old. And it looks like that is going to be on the list. Man, I don't need any money. I just want to make all the money go away. Son of a gun. I don't see it on this side, so I think you really only see it on the other side. So we just went and dropped the L322 back off at the shop. They're gonna look into it. I don't feel like messing with it. We just replaced the coolant hose in the front. Obviously it wasn't leaking in the front unless there was some type of pressure thing going on that required one to get blown out. So I'm back in the D2, and we know when it rains, it pours with old cars. This is the problem with having too many old cars. It gets expensive, things break, they break at inopportune times. People ask me why I don't sell my Land Cruiser. Well, for things like this, honestly. It is what it is, but it needs to, you need to have cars that can carry the kids and whatnot safely. And when cars go down like they do, and they go down hard, then I need backups. Well, the upside is I always have a car at the shop, so I never need a ride home. So, you know, top tip, if you own old cars, live within a couple minutes of your favorite repair shop. Tip your mechanic. Howdy, welcome back to the Addicted Motors YouTube channel. You know where this is going. So, I'm here with the L322, the cheap L322 Supercharged Range Rover that I bought a couple of years ago. And, well, you can't tell by the state of the intake or the supercharger, well, the lack of supercharger. If you know these cars, you know what's going on. So, the worst has happened, and I'm not going to say it's the worst. It's the large major service to do on the 4.2s. It is the supercharged, it's the coolant hose located under the supercharger. They put it under the supercharger, has to come off and just to get one little line. And that line has a leak, and so we are now here. Now, this is the one thing that really hurts these engines. It didn't overheat, it didn't do anything. I just saw there was coolant dripping from behind the engine block. I knew immediately that this is going to be expensive.
It was. This guy, see how it's all swollen?
Yeah.
It's pissing right at the...
Oh, yeah.
See right there. Split somewhere in here somewhere.
Yo.
There's a little pinhole.
I mean...
There it is. Little tiny guy.
Yep, and that costs, you know, money.
Yeah. Oh, and then there broke a bunch of bolts and stripped a bunch of shit, and I spent forever. So, these bolts, this is the one that was stripped out.
Oh, yeah.
Was right here.
Torx?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was right here, which on the supercharger is completely inaccessible.
Yeah.
And you have to pull this off the back of the supercharger to get to the bolt that bolts it down.
Oh, that's on the back of the supercharger,
Yeah.
so you had to take that off after the supercharger came off.
Wonderful. Yeah, which usually you take it off before the supercharger comes off.
So that's the old while you're in there. But yeah, again, that's really the only thing that really kills these motors. There's no timing change or anything in the 4.2 that kills it. And if you're gonna buy one of these, it's the major service. This is almost 165,000 miles. You will have to do it eventually. Usually they go around 170 to 200, but you know, hey, it's done now and it's one less thing to worry about. Yeah, so just like the Jag 4-liter supercharged in my 03 XJR, I mean, all these 4.2s, that is the Achilles heel. Those pipes that run into the supercharger, something to think about if you're buying one. Again, it's not the most pressing thing to take care of, but if you're going to monitor things on the car, again, anytime you see coolant dripping out from the back of the motor area, usually that's what it's going to be. But over here, they're working on a carbureted 3.5 South African import. Don't really see these in the States with this motor configuration with the carb on it. It's probably a late 80s build, if I'm guessing correctly, but this one was imported, sold, and redone. Having some transmission issues, but pretty neat truck. Other things hanging out here, the E-Type that we saw on Bring a Trailer, the owner wanted to do a full mechanical restoration, so that's been going through the phases. Just looks beautiful up there. Got a buddy's series truck with some carb tuning issues. Mike's drop top Defender. And this beautiful XKE, this one's extremely clean. They just did, I'll show you here, the rear brake service, which of course involves removing the whole subframe assembly with the brake rotors because they are inboard. So yeah, it's a pretty involved job. I think it's 4 to 6 hours book time. So again, it's not the end of the world as far as there's no engine out or anything like that, but you do need to remove the supercharger. It should replace any coolant hoses that might be in that area. And then you're good for another while because these trucks really don't suffer from a lot of other, major failures. And again, this is not a how-to video, just an FYI when you're looking to buy one of these and you're, either driving it around, look for that potential coolant smell, seepage from the back of the motor. And if not, you should be fine. So of course, the only thing to do after getting the cooling system redone was drive immediately 100 some miles up to the cabin to clean it for some guests that are coming this weekend. And again, it did fine. I feel like there's less, probably a little more power. I don't think there's any issues from the coolant leak before, but definitely feels, I get that in focus, definitely feels a little more healthy. So again, another addition to the saga of the Supercharged L322. A lot of recent questions and comments on the on my buyer's guide for one of these, and I'm going to be doing another probably full video on one soon. Just not right now. Again, great truck, but I think the next video will be how much I've spent on this year, which I probably shouldn't show Cindy. So that's gonna be it for me from now. Next thing coming up, P38s. I'm talking P38s. We'll see when that video comes out. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And share the rest of the videos on my channel. Thanks. See ya.